For more now, let's turn to Einar Tangen. He's a senior fellow at the Taihe Institute and founder and chairman of Asieh Narratives. Einar, how do you think China is going to respond to these hefty tariffs?
Well, in a very targeted way. I mean, China is trying to balance the fact that it's opening up its economy. It's done a tremendous amount, visa-free access, cutting down the number of industries where foreign companies aren't allowed to compete, opening up government contracts. They don't want to undo that because that would fall directly into Washington's plan. The more restrictive China is, the more the U.S. will point at China and say, oh, we're just doing what they're doing. So it's going to be interesting. Maybe a lot of agricultural products, areas where China can turn to other markets where it's a little bit more friendly.
You know, President Biden says he's seeking fair competition with China and not conflict. And already there's been a lot of back and forth. Could this unravel, perhaps, Einar, all the progress the two sides have made on the diplomatic front since President Xi and President Biden met in California in November?
Well, it does unravel it. I mean, you've had a series of meetings, people coming, at Blinken, Yellen, et cetera. Raimondo is due to come as well. But it's just not much to say. If you keep saying that, oh, we don't want a trade war, and then you instigate a trade war, it doesn't seem very genuine. And as Xi Jinping said when he was talking to Blinken, he says, you know, your words and your deeds have to start matching. And this clearly does not match what was said by Blinken when he was here about trying to avoid conflict, both in terms of kinetic and economic.
So what should the U.S. response, Einar? What should have the United States have done instead of these tariffs to obviously address some of the concerns they have about this issue? I mean, Biden says China is not competing, they're cheating by pushing down some of these prices, making it impossible for other companies to compete.
Well, that's the problem. The U.S. for the last 15 years has basically flatlined in terms of productivity, and that is absolutely essential. You cannot grow your economy just by adding wage costs to it, and this has made it very, very difficult for the U.S. to compete. The U.S. has to come together and say, look, where are we good at? Where can we create a competitive advantage? And where can, go out and compete, not through subsidies and, tariffs, but where the U.S. can be competitive worldwide and not only domestically, and sell their products. If it's ideas, it's ideas. If it's IP, it's IP. But whatever it is, the U.S. has to figure out what the path forward is. It can't just erect a wall and say, we're going to keep the tide from rising. It doesn't work.
And Einar, of course, all of this is happening in an election year. I mean, we're months away from the U.S. presidential race.
Yeah, this is kind of Joe Biden hitting the panic button politically. He trails Donald Trump by about 7 points on economics, and he thinks this will get him in the game. He says the difference between me and Donald Trump is Donald Trump wants 60% across the board, and I'm very strategic and targeted. But, let's go back to 2019 when he said, quote, Trump just doesn't get the basics. He thinks his tariffs are being paid by China. Any freshman econ student could tell you that the American people are paying his tariffs. The cashiers at Target see what's going on. They know more about economics than Trump. Well, apparently he's joined the Trump team, not the ones at Target.
All right, we'll have to leave it there. Einar Tangen, thank you very much.
Thank you.